How to build a positive company culture. On this episode, I'm going to be taking you through the 5 strategies to building a company culture that's going to last a lifetime. We're going to be focusing on culture itself, lead generation and lead conversion as it pertains to company culture, and the systems and strategies that your agents are taking advantage of to help them make more money in less time with less energy. All of which is going to feed your culture, help you retain agents, and attract the very top talent in your marketplace. Hi, I'm Jeff Cohn, host of the Team Building Podcast, where we interview top team leaders, broker owners, and thought leaders from across the country. Today, I'm going to be diving deep into how to build a positive company culture, and I'm going to be providing you the top 5 strategies that you can implement in your company today to improve your company culture. So in our last episode, we dived deep into how to create vision boards and the strategy behind vision boards to improve your team culture. Today, I'm going to be getting into the 5 strategies that you can implement now that's going to help improve your company culture. Over the course of the last 15 years, I've been working inside the real estate space. I've had a team for over 10 years, and I've had a brokerage for 3 years, and we've split tested, probably 100 different strategies, and we've really narrowed it down to the main 5. For a long time, our keynote was focused on 5 pillars, which is culture, leads, accountability, systems, strategies. But what we found is there's obviously culture baked in to each one of those pillars. So the first thing is lead generation. You always want to be in a culture of making it rain. Both admin and salespeople need to be wired in such a way that they're always thinking about selling. For us, the way that we've created a strong culture surrounding lead gen is to focus on the type of salesperson that we're working with and recognize that there's actually 3 types of salespeople. You have a dependent salesperson. They're usually best fit working under a mentor program or working within a real estate team. They need a lot more handholding, and they usually make the best buyer's agents. Then you have an interdependent agent. They don't need nearly as much handholding. They've been in the business for a few years. They usually focus on listings and buyers. And then you have an independent agent. This is somebody that doesn't probably even need to come into the office very often. There's somebody that works on an island. They build their own real estate team. Sometimes they're listing agents or they've already gone 7th level and they're no longer working in the weeds. But recognizing that the leads that you generate are specific to those 3 categories. And also recognizing that the leads that get created from your organization are your organization's leads, which are much different than a lead that your agent might be trained on generating from their own sphere of influence or their own outbound prospecting effort. So over the course of the last 10 years, our company has been focused on generating Google PPC leads or pay-per-click leads. Normally, we spend around $1 every time someone clicks, $10 every generated lead, and we know we need to get about 50 leads to close one deal, putting us at a 2% conversion ratio. We've done that over 2,500 times over the last 10 years, making us the number 1 company in the country for internet lead generation and internet lead conversion. We've generated over $20 million of gross revenue, of which we've kept 50% and shared 50% with our agents. We've created a culture of lead generation. And with that, the second pillar is lead conversion. Everyone gets excited about leads. Nobody gets excited about the work that goes along with them. Everyone wants to talk about how many leads they have and how many leads they close. Rarely do they want to talk about what they had to do to get there. And so we've built a company of culture around the activities that help convert leads at the highest level. First and foremost is calling, texting, emailing, and automations. And we do all of that within the Boomtown platform. Boomtown serves as our front-end website solution and our back-end client relationship management tool. We've created a clear vision and expectation for every salesperson within the organization as to what the actual activity needs to be for every lead opportunity that comes in. These aren't just company-generated leads. These are also leads that a salesperson would bring into their own platform or their own pipeline. And the 3 types of leads we typically see are internet-generated, outbound prospecting, which is an agent that goes out to an open house, for example, or door knocks or cold calls. And then the third type was sphere of influence. We found culturally, we find that a new agent, a dependent agent, works 2/3 of their leads are company generated leads, internet leads, and only a third are outbound prospecting and sphere of influence. Usually in an agent's second year, or an interdependent agent, about a third will come from internet leads, a third sphere, and a third outbound prospecting. And once an agent's become independent, they're kind of off on their own. 2/3 is sphere of influence, and 1/3 is split between internet leads and outbound prospecting. Obviously, we all know the best leads to work are sphere of influence because they already know us, like us, trust us. All we have to really do is go and service that lead. And if we are 7th level where we've exited the business, we would have someone within our own organization that would go out and service that lead. Like I mentioned, our organization was built on lead conversion. Our culture supports lead conversion. And one of the best ways to show our staff that is at the forefront of our minds is every week we host an agent accountability group meeting. It's part of our sales meeting. And we go around the entire group of people and ask them to report on 6 things. Number 1, how many call attempts were they supposed to make that week? Their call attempt number is directly tied to their overall yearly sales number. And if you listen to the episode before regarding vision boards, their actual sales number and the dollar they want to generate is directly tied to how much income they need to generate to be able to live and lead the life of their dreams, which is outlined in the vision board that they create for themselves through their own journey of self-actualization. So 1, how many outbound calls? 2, how many people did you actually contact? 3, how many contracts did you put under contract? 4, how many contracts are you currently negotiating? 5, how many new listings did you take? And number 6, how many hours did you spend prospecting? Once you've created the culture of holding people accountable and going through the exercise every week in a group setting, you'll find your salespeople will rise to the occasion. They'll feel a healthy sense of peer pressure to stay within a sales community that operates at a high level and want to report positive numbers in the meeting. One other strategy from a cultural standpoint that we include is every time someone does report a sale, everyone in the room claps. So if I were to report my numbers today and say my call goal was 150, I made 170 calls. I talked to 27 people. I executed 3 contracts. We'd all pause and go 1, 2, 3, and give 3 claps. You would be amazed at how excited people are to have a clap. I know I've heard of offices using gongs where they get to go hit a big gong if they sell a house or put a deal under contract or get a listing agreement signed. So whatever strategy works for you, I think that's a huge game changer. So we talked about lead gen and lead conversion. Next is systems and strategy. So I already mentioned one of the systems that we use is Boomtown as our backend CRM. I think Boomtown's the best in the marketplace. Obviously, Inside Real Estate just acquired them, so you have KV Core as well. And then Boomtown just released their Boomtown Pro, which is marrying KV Core with Boomtown. But it doesn't matter. I mean, really, there's obviously a lot of great options. What matters is that your organization is taking advantage of whatever system you have put in place. And as a true leader, we should be serving our followers by giving them the best of the best when it comes to systems so that they can be the best versions of themselves and ultimately make more money in less time with less energy. And so we can go down a laundry list of different systems that we've incorporated to make things as easy as possible for the agents. Another one I'll mention is contract to close. I know a lot of agents get buried in dotting I's and crossing T's. Agents should never be doing an admin job because admin jobs pay $20 to $30 an hour. And if an agent makes $100,000 a year, that's $50 an hour. You should be leveraging that. In our brokerage, we actually have hired a team of 5 full-time contract to close individuals. It's not just putting in a listing sheet and putting it on the MLS. It's everything from scheduling a walkthrough, scheduling the closing, scheduling a home inspection, making sure a seller estimated cost sheet is filled out properly and signed on time and everything's in compliance. It's a full spectrum A to Z. This is a huge piece to our system because it alleviates that additional time that your salespeople could be spending in their highest income producing activity, which is always 80% prospecting and 20% servicing their client. And the last thing is strategies. So what strategies have you created to help your agent become the best version of themselves and have the ability to generate that revenue so that they can check the things off their vision board that they have said are their purpose, are their reason for coming to work every day? One of the main strategies, speaking back towards contract to close, is finding a way where your agent can get all the contract to close services provided free of charge. I like to say zero base, by actually charging their client for the admin that's touching that file. A lot of clients might rebut and say, well, I thought the commission is what covers that. Well, all of our listing agreements have a 6 to 7% commission tied in. On top of that, we charge $600 to the seller. We also charge $600 to the buyer for contract to close services. We call it a broker administrative commission. That broker administrative commission is what covers the cost of the actual full-time admin team that's going to be working arduously with that client throughout the duration of the contract, which could take anywhere from 60 to 90 days while it's in escrow. That's one strategy. Another strategy is helping to pay for leads for the agents. A lot of times agents want leads, but they don't have the budget or tell themselves they don't have the budget for the leads. So our brokerage has chosen to feed agents leads if they're willing to work the leads based on our criteria for lead conversion best strategy. We can help agents zero base the cost of lead gen through the creation of strategic partnerships. So our brokerage and our teams go out and we create our own strategic partnerships, but we also train our agents and our teams within the brokerage to go and create strategic partnerships themselves. One example, I own a mortgage company, Exarban Mortgage. It's a national mortgage company. But in Nebraska, Exarban Mortgage will partner with top teams and agents through a strategic partnership. So I will use the mortgage company that's physically hyper-local in our market, servicing our clients, our agents' clients, and we'll enter into a strategic partnership in which we pay for leads for the teams and or agents within our own company so that they can use those leads themselves and or feed other agents that are on their teams those leads. So those are the 5 main pillars from a cultural standpoint when you look at leads, lead conversion, systems, strategies surrounding the success and the health of your team culture and or your company culture. There's a lot more on this topic. If you want more information and would like to download our free guide, it's our Elite Team Building Guide. Just click in the show notes. We're going to make a free PDF downloadable version available to you. And we look forward to continuing to provide you high-level content specific to building and scaling teams and businesses in your marketplace. Stay tuned for our next episode.